Sup peeps, and welcome to another reaction in between my Let's Plays. This one is another reaction to Call for an Uprising's videos. And this one says about, are they just playing doctors on TV or are they real doctors? I don't know what it's going to get into, but considering all the big pharma propaganda that's out there, this should be interesting. So before I get into this, if you're new here and you enjoy the video, please consider subscribing, hit the notification bell. If you like this video, smash that thumbs up. If you dislike it, smash that thumbs down. If you got anything to say, drop a comment down below. Let's talk about it. I've got a GoFundMe in the description. It'd be greatly appreciated if you could please donate. Any little would help me grow this channel exponentially. With that being said, let's see what Cole has to say on this subject matter, shall we?
If you ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part
That's my volume.
Wake
Okay.
up, because
Actually, no,
this
last time it was a little quiet.
call for an uprising.
I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. I know a lot of you out there are scared. A lot of you are already jabbed, of course.
I'm not.
And you're worried about the Delta variant.
No, I'm not.
And doctors thankfully exist. And thankfully they're all over mainstream TV. So any channel you turn to,
I don't watch mainstream
you can hear
TV.
the doctors talk about how important it is to get jabbed.
Do you see?
Thus, you would be able to fight off.
Do you see any TV?
Delta. Okay. Now, for those of you who have already gotten one,
I don't have a TV.
jabs, and of course, some of you are people who listen, right? Sorry, I had spicy ham. Of course, right? Some of you are people who had one. Well, luckily, the doctors are letting you know that the key to fighting the Delta is to make sure you go get your second, and then we'll be safe from the Delta. So make sure you do that.
But they're saying that any variant you're not safe from.
Me personally,
At least that's what they're saying on British media.
Boombots, you guys know my doctor?
I'll tell you about trouble. I got the wrong doctor. You know my doctor, Dr. Vinny Boombots. Know my doctor? What a doctor. You kidding? What a doctor. I called him up. I told him I had diarrhea. He put me on hold.
Life not easy.
Not easy. You can't trust doctors either. They're all mixed up. You
really
kidding?
think so?
Yep.
My proctologist used to be a photographer.
Yeah.
Hey, he took x-rays, told me to bend over and say cheese. You know my doctor, Dr. Vinny Boombots. Know my doctor? Like that, what a doctor. He's really mixed up. He grabbed my knee and told me to cough and hit me in the balls with a hammer.
I do used to enjoy watching House,
though.
though.
Good advice on this, but let's listen to what some of these doctors on the TV are saying about the old jabberoo.
For more on the spread of the Delta variant and the state of vaccinations in the U.S., let's bring in Dr. Darian Sutton, an emergency medicine physician and an ABC News medical contributor. Dr. Sutton, thank you for joining us. President Biden today in his speech, while he was celebrating largely, he did also warn about the spread of the Delta variant. We know the CDC has called it a variant of concern. Can you just explain to our viewers why this particular strain is so concerning, especially for people who are unvaccinated?
What we have seen is that this variant was first identified in India and now is dominant in the UK, where, for example, in places like England, it has been associated to a 130% increase in cases in a 14-day case
I'm from England.
that we're seeing right now. And now in the US, it's associated with approximately...
I go out 3 times a night, sometimes during the day, to go to Asda and sit outside of Asda, a busy supermarket, just so I can use their free Wi-Fi to upload my videos to YouTube. Do I seem sick? Do I seem ill? Do I have the one-liner? No. No, I don't. BS. Complete and utter BS. I'm from England, and I can tell you that much.
10% of new cases. Now, this is a concern because this variant has been shown to be more transmissible, and in some cases more severe in terms of symptoms and outcome. But we're learning
more severe symptoms,
trying to understand
more transmissible.
This variant is causing.
Once again, may I add, I go out several times a day just so I can upload to YouTube. I'm perfectly well. Oh wait, I don't believe in this whole thing anyways. So no wonder I'm perfectly fine. Thoughts create reality. If you think you're going to get ill, if you believe in something hard enough, it becomes reality. It's as simple as that. I don't believe in it, therefore I'm not going to get it.
Your outcomes in terms of hospitalizations and deaths. The reason why we need to pay close attention to this is because this may threaten the work that we have done so far, to be quite honest with you, in terms of the vaccines that we're putting out there and making sure that people are protected against this virus.
Another incentive, really, for adults to get their shot. Is that a reason for concern? Do the benefits still outweigh everything? I mean, what do we need to know about that?
What benefits?
I think that the benefits of the vaccine still outweigh any possible risk that we are seeing. So what we're seeing in these cases of myocarditis, which is simply an inflammation of the heart muscle, or pericarditis, which is an inflammation
Oh no,
of
my
the
heart!
We're seeing of the over 7 million children and adolescents who have gotten vaccinated, a small number coming in with these symptoms, majority of which are boys that seem to have these symptoms after their second dose.
Oh look, they're talking about bad
It's an
symptoms.
important signal to pay attention to, but I want to give there some more context to this. So myocarditis is an inflammation that we see in the heart muscle that is associated with many viral illnesses, many of which include COVID-19. And so what I try to explain to parents is that the risk of COVID-19 far outweighs this possible
No, it doesn't.
small risk associated with these vaccines. And it's important that we take that into consideration when making the decision to get vaccinated, because I also want to advise parents that waiting comes with its own risk of possibility of long-term symptoms associated to COVID, the 1 in 1,000 children who get
Hey, doctor, leave them kids alone.
associated to COVID,
To rephrase the song by Pink Floyd.
or long-term outcomes associated with COVID. So at the end, the risk of COVID far outweighs any risk that we can see with these vaccines.
No, it doesn't. 0.0004% chance of dying from it.
Are we still vulnerable?
You are more likely to die of the flu.
I think we are in a good position. I think that we should be proud of the work that we have done. And although we are winning in this race against COVID, we shouldn't simply give
You are
up.
more likely to get struck by lightning. You are more likely to win the lottery. Go buy a lottery ticket. You'll be more likely to win that than you would be to die of this one-liner.
We appreciate your time.
We are joined
God.
by Dr. Amish Adalja. He's a senior scholar at Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security at the Bloomberg School of Public Health. Dr. Adalja, let's start with the Delta variant. An estimated 10% of cases here in the U.S. are that new variant. That's up from 6% the previous week, and 99% in the U.K. Nearly all the cases are this Delta variant. What makes this strain so dangerous?
I'm in England and it's not dangerous at all.
That it's accumulated.
It's just another way for Bojo to keep us in control.
Person to person. So when you're in a situation where there is a group of unvaccinated individuals or a county where the vaccine levels are low and there's not much natural immunity, this can really take off and spread much faster than we saw with the original version of the virus.
Oh god, this is hilarious.
So this is something that we need to stay ahead of to avoid, things spiraling out of control in unvaccinated populations. I don't think it's going to be the same as what we saw in the spring or what we saw even in the winter, but for an unvaccinated person, the individual risk is very, very high.
Is it? I haven't got the old jabberoo, and like I said, I go out several times a night, several times a day, just so I can upload my videos. And I am perfectly fine.
And when you look at the Delta variant, people that have had both doses
Yeah,
of the Moderna
33.
and Pfizer vaccines
I like your little call to the
virtually
Masons
completely
there,
protected
Cole.
from this
Nice
strain. So
pun.
whatever happens is going to be something that we can prevent by getting more vaccines into people. We don't have all the data on the J&J vaccine, but I suspect it is similarly protective against this variant, but we're looking for data.
But you were previously saying that the jabberoo wasn't going to protect you from any new variants. And that's why boosters are required. That's what you said before. Stop contradicting yourselves.
We have to make it as easy and convenient and as normal for people to get vaccinated as possible.
As normal.
We're kind of hitting
I
this
nearly
small
choked on my
pox
coffee
hesitancy
then.
Where the people who wanted to be vaccinated have been vaccinated already, and it's a lot of effort just to get a single dose into people anymore. So I think what we have to do is make this something you can get anywhere. You don't need to have an appointment. You don't need to put your social security number or your insurance information into some website. You should just be able to go and get it at the subway, on the beach, wherever you might be.
Thankfully, we have these doctors to help us, to let us know how safe this is. And again, my doctor, Dr. Vinny Boombots, I don't know if he gives the right advice on this. You know, and then of course we have stories like this out there because, you know, I know a lot of you have gotten the jab, so this is why it's really important that stories like this the New York Times have. Wondering if your jab worked? Get the right type test at the right time. That's right. So once you get the jab, it might not work, but you should get it anyway, even though it might not work. And as you heard the doctor say, the risk of not getting it is far worse than the risk of, the risk of if you don't get jab is far worse than taking the risk and actually getting the Delta airline disease. So
I like that.
thankfully he set that straight for us. And now if you're wondering if you've gotten the jab, you want to get tested to make sure your jab has worked, because if it hasn't worked, well then you'll just have to go back and get another one, because that's how they work. You know, put it in your body. Make sure you get that high, right? Now that tens of millions of Americans are jabbed against the virus, many are wondering, do I have enough antibodies to keep me safe? For a vast majority of people, the answer is yes. That hasn't stopped hordes from stampede, hordes with a D. Although it hasn't stopped whores from stampeding to the local doc in a box for antibody testing, because the majority of people don't realize that they're selling their body like a $10 hoard right on the streets,
pretty much,
to get this put inside of them. But anyway, to get a
because you're taking incentives, you're taking free food, taking free beer,
a specific kind of test at the right time.
You're literally selling your body for
right? Well, take the test too soon. I'm reading from the
a Big Mac
from the New York Times. Take the test too soon, or rely on one that looks for the wrong antibodies. All too easy to do, given the befuddling array of tests that are now available. Well, why would you need to take a test after you get the jab? You should be immune. Interesting. All right.
You think so, wouldn't you? Oh, wait.
After getting the jab, and it says that the test didn't work, they'll just go right back and get more. Get them all. Come on down. Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, you get it. You got it, we'll take it. Come on, give it to me. I don't want to...
Idiots.
I don't want to catch the common cough. Take the test too soon, they say. Like I just said, sorry. And you
don't know what happened there on my phone. I mean, as you can see, on my storage space. So hopefully I'll be able to
after you get the jab, and then you
record
want to go
all
back
this
in, get tested again, probably with the the nasal swab, that old Egyptian ritual they'll stick up your nose. Actually, scientists, they say, would prefer that the average jab person not get antibody testing at all, on the grounds that it's unnecessary. In clinical trials, the jab authorized in the U.S. provoked a strong antibody response in virtually all of the participants. They say most participants shouldn't even be worrying about this. Well,
yeah, but that's them.
An article for
but
us
that's them just like
really worried,
giving you data they want to give you. They're not giving you the real data. They're just giving you what they want you to hear.
They said, but antibody tests can be crucial for people.
But what they want you to hear, rather.
Are those who take certain medications, right? Broad category. You take certain medication. If you've been jabbed and you take, watch out if you take an aspirin, it might
be your last headache.
Trigger the jab into not working. You'll have to go get another. But antibody tests can be crucial for people with weak immune systems. Again, a broad category encompassing millions of people who are recipients of organ donations, have certain blood cancers, or take steroids or other drugs that suppress the immune system. Mounting evidence suggests that a significant proportion of these people do not produce a sufficient antibody response after getting the jab. So, long story short, with all the technicalities here, New York Times, you just read an article about how people need to get tested to make sure that their jab worked, but not to worry about it, but still go get tested anyway. And hey, let's just rely on these doctors on the TV. All right, don't even bother going. These are our doctors. We're trusting in them. They're on national television. How can they not be legit? Because there's probably like a sign-up sheet, right? Doctors wanted. Please apply to ABC News. Right? Does anyone even think about the process? Of course they don't. How are these doctors getting on TV? They're like, hey, my doctor, I'm gonna, is the anchor like, my doctor would be great. Can we get him on for an interview? Oh, right. They select them probably because they're not real doctors.
They're probably Masons.
At the Bohemian Grove or the G7 or the Bilderberg, They say, well, we've got some of these people here. Let's go into our IMDb database, get it? And let's find some of these doctors, and let's get, these doctors, and let's throw a code on them, and we'll
Cool.
have them on the TV.
IMDb, the DB in IMDb stands for database. So you said IMDb,
down the line,
Internet Movie
all say
Database,
the
database is
same
what you just
thing.
said.
And then I've seen these crazy doctors on YouTube that come out, and they prove that they're actually doctors, and they say stuff about the jab, and then they get, removed from YouTube, and they can't have the opposite
I've seen a few of those.
these doctors on the TV. So, hey, that's why I go to Dr. Vinny Boombots, right? He gives me great advice, He tells me what to do when I wake up in the morning.
Oh, one time I saw him, he gave me sleeping pills. He told me to take them whenever I wake up.
Exactly, because that's the way the world's headed, and that actually sounds like a pretty good idea. But unfortunately, the rest of society has already taken their sleeping pills. In fact, they're taking it 24/7. They're very sleepy, right? Because they're under hypnosis. You see what I did there? Clever, right?
Yep.
So,
But it's
we
true,
have
though.
these doctors to thank. I personally want to thank them for all their hard work. I hope that the Screen Actors Guild, is continuing to find. I hope that the Doctors Guild is continuing to help these doctors get the word out there about how important it is to get jabbed, and of course how we fight against this very scary Delta.
What's the next one? Omega? Gamma?
Conveniently, right? We have Delta, Beta, a lot of names that have to do with radio waves and the brain frequencies. But that's another story for another day. That's stuff we'll talk about on the website, acallforanuprising.com. So,
most likely these doctors are bought and paid for, most likely Freemasons. And once again, I'm British. I go out several times a day just so I can upload to YouTube. And I'm perfectly well. So don't believe what you're hearing and reading in the mainstream media is all complete and BS. Just so Bojo could keep us locked down for an extra 4 weeks. Well, in the immortal words of Stormy, fuck the government and fuck Boris. With that being said, if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, smashing that thumbs up. If you liked the video, smash the thumbs down. If you disliked it, drop a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Let's talk about it. I've got a GoFundMe in the description down below. Please donate. Any little would help me grow the channel exponentially. And please and thank you. And with that, peace out and namaste, peeps.